We have a lot to get to. Joining us now, the author of The Deep State, Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz, the author of The Russian Hoax, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, author of The Case Against the Democratic House Impeaching Trump, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. Congressman Chaffetz, I'll begin with you. If this is the case, all of these other people that we know lied to Congress, and in the case of Hillary, they were subpoenaed. She did delete them. She did acid wash the hard drive, and she did bust up devices. Where's her pre-dawn rate? Where's the pre-dawn rate of everybody else I mentioned?
Remember, Brian Pagliano was the IT specialist for Hillary Clinton. Twice I issued a duly issued subpoena. He refused to show up at Congress. Not only was there not a pre-dawn raid, they never arrested him, they never prosecuted him, they never did anything about him. Instead, what you had was this FBI and the Department of Justice handing out immunity agreements so that they got the easiest treatment possible. At the same time, as you point out, there were emails and documents, classified information, so highly classified. Even I, as the chairman of the Oversight Committee, could not see this information. It was out in the wind. It was told up to 300 people had this secure information in a non-classified setting. And the Department of Justice did nothing. It's the duplicity. It's the unbalance. It's that Lady Justice peeking under a blindfold and acting differently for the Democrats than they do on Republicans. That's so disgusting.
Yeah. Greg, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Well, Jason is absolutely right. And in fact, Uma Abedin and Cheryl Mills, two of Hillary Clinton's top aides, clearly made false and misleading statements to the FBI. And emails prove that those were false statements. And Jason, during a committee hearing, Intelligence Committee hearing, confronted James Comey about it. And Comey said, quote, well, there's always conflicting recollection of facts. This from the same guy who used no facts, no evidence, no probable cause to launch a dilating and improper and illegitimate investigation of Donald Trump. And now his longtime friend and ally, Robert Mueller, is pretty much doing the same. These are process crimes, but the indictment of Roger Stone only shows today that Mueller has failed to meet his mandate. No one has been charged with a crime for which Mueller was appointed.
You know, Professor Dershowitz, you've talked about the criminalizing of political differences here. Every one of those people I mentioned and Greg just mentioned are guilty of the exact same thing that they charge Roger Stone with. If we're going to arrest one person, if we're going to say that's justice, where's equal justice? Where's equal application of our laws?
No, I agree, and I think we shouldn't arrest any of them. We should let this be fought out in the political arena. Look, today's arrest is part of a long pattern by Mueller. He only arrests people for crimes that occurred either after he came into office, crimes that were stimulated essentially by the investigation, or crimes that occurred earlier but have nothing to do with Russia, tax evasion, bank fraud, taxi cab medallions, or one case where he indicts Russians who will never come into this country, a show indictment.
Yeah, Russian intelligence agents.
Of arresting somebody, right, and the idea of arresting somebody like Stone the way they arrested him is a civil libertarian nightmare. The ACLU should be up in arms. An hour later in court, the government conceded he was not a flight risk, he was not a danger, they accepted very low bail, and they let him leave. They should have called his lawyer and said, please show up at the federal courthouse tomorrow at 10 o'clock. He's been indicted. He'll be arraigned. That's the way white-collar criminals are treated. But what they want to do with him, with Stone, is to squeeze him the way they squeezed Flynn and the way they're squeezing Manafort. And it's Judge Ellis who said they're not interested in Manafort. They're interested in what Manafort can give them on Trump. They want to have him sing, and the fear is these people may also compose. We know some of them probably have already composed made-up stories. Now, Stone has said he won't do it. Of course, Michael Cohen said he wouldn't cooperate either, so we have to wait and see.
Thank you all for being with us.